3:30, 3:45 like that. So after that till 9 a.m. the file wasn't able to download till then. So we thought we won't be able to recover it from there. So what I've done is I've put up a I'll take a small break class in between the breaks. What I'll give you, I'll take a class of the yesterday's session. I'll just recap it in a fast manner so that you can go through whatever chapters we have done. Okay, in very fast manner, in like 30 to 45 minutes, I'll just do a recap session of yesterday's. Okay, so now anybody just put up a message in the what is the YouTube part also that we are going live and we'll be doing the classes. Okay, everybody went through the capacitance concepts. Yes, no, you can put it in the chat section. Okay, yes, yes, okay. So we'll be doing the, since till moving charges and magnetism, we'll be doing a very fast synopsis, like 5 minutes. Okay, just going through what is in there, what are the formulas important, what we need to know, and then directly moving to the PYQs. I'll be sending the PYQ both in WhatsApp as well as in the Telegram channel. And your target will be, I'll be giving you 10 minutes or max 15 minutes. You go through it fast, whatever you can solve it, doesn't matter. See, make a timeline, like take a watch, everybody, and sit with a watch. So each question you just have to give 1 minute, and max to max, if you think you are able to, give 1.5 minutes. Okay, after 1.5 minutes, if you think you're not able to do, skip that question. So let's say I gave you 20 questions of the PYQs. So your target time will be 20 into 1, so 20 minutes. That is the best target time. Max you can go for 30 minutes. Okay, so not more than that. And after that, we'll start the discussion. Okay, and even in the discussion, if you have done by one method, see the way we are doing, maybe the way we are doing, it's a bit more smaller and you can save a bit more time. Okay, in your exams. Okay, so very important, everybody, we have asked yesterday also 3 things to maintain it. One thing, be confident for today, tomorrow, whatever happens, because by being, what do you say, disappointed, worried, nothing will help. Or being scared, nothing will help. Okay. So what is important is be confident. Whatever we have done, from that only we'll do good. Okay. It's not always like what you say, you'll get what is a lot of time to prepare. In reality, when you go to a good college IIT, or when you go to good college of Bangalore also, PES and all, you'll see suddenly a test will come. You don't know also. Suddenly they'll come and just give a paper. Okay, write down the exam. So in that case scenario, you can't prepare. You don't know, only you can't prepare. So what you do, you keep your cool, you keep the confidence, and with that confidence, you try to decode. Because in reality and in life, always we won't be like class 10th or 12th. We'll have a lot of time. We'll have exam schedule. We'll have a tutor who will explain everything. In reality, when you go for research and all, no, what you say, nothing happens like this. Okay, so you have to be fast. Okay, so we'll be starting the chapter capacitance. We'll do a very fast, what do you say, concept revision, and then we'll start with the, what do you say, question answers. Again, the question answer limit, again, I'm telling, same thing, 1 minute per question, max 1.5. More than that is a waste of time. Because understand, for this is all important for your exam point of view, the way you write or attempt the paper. Okay, so the same way you have to do it now, so that that practice is there till the exam time. Because in exam, even if you know a question, but it is taking more than 5 minutes, 6 minutes, skip it, because it will give me how many marks? One. If I get an easy question which can give me that, I'll go for that only, the first. So first 40 minutes, 30 minutes, or first whatever slot you are making. If you have made a timetable how to attempt the slot, okay. So first slot will be, the way you solve it will be the ones which you know and you can solve it in 30 seconds, 10 seconds. Okay. The first attempt, let's say I have 60 questions. So what are you going to do? First 15 minutes, you solve the ones which you know super quick. So let's say you are able to solve 20 questions. So in that 10 minutes, you got 20 questions, means a very big confidence boost. Okay. Maybe from whichever chapter, even from a chapter which you haven't studied, that doesn't matter in exam. You're getting the answer, that is well and good. Once you're done with that, now the ones you know that you know it, but you need to solve it. It will take a minute time. Okay. So go with that. Once you're done with all that, you have, let's say, 20 minutes left. 10 minutes you give to the some questions where you think it you will get it, but it is a bit more lengthy, like 2.5 minutes. Give them last 10 minutes here and there. You can apply the tricks, and you can, what do you say, fill the OMR very properly. A lot of students each year we see that they have not given time. They became greedy and like will solve more questions, will solve more questions, and they didn't give time for filling up the OMR properly. One wrong box coloring, okay, and the whole order is gone. And the whole marks, you could have got 45 just because of getting 2 or 3 extra marks. He lost minimum 20 to 30 marks. Okay, one wrong, like let's say from first 10 till 10, it was okay. The 11th one you did it wrong, and you what do you say colored for the 12th one. Done. So that is also OMR filling is very important. Keep it in the priority list to fill the OMR properly. A lot of students, what they do one question and fill the OMR. That also is wrong. What happens when you do one question, your whole brain is concentrated on that question. Now, when you're filling the OMR, okay, what happens? You become very scared, okay, and that time it is not good. So you are start thinking like whether I've corrected the proper one or not. So that time don't put up. OMR, you give proper 5 minutes last. Take time, take your what you say, another pencil if you have, and properly see, okay, for the first option it is A, like that, properly go through. Okay. So 5 minutes more I'm giving for the fast recap of the concept video, and then we'll start. We are almost done here. Okay. So join fast, everybody. Okay, we'll start the session very fast, and today will be a bit more faster in completion of the chapter because we have lot, at least the important ones which I've already shown. 1 second. So now everybody just see 1 second. Okay, we'll be sharing one thing, and we'll be now everybody can see the screen properly. To comment it. Do tell me if you're able to see the screen properly. Now everybody, first thing is we have to do good. Okay. So be happy. You're working hard for that. If you're not happy, you won't be able to concentrate more in the class. Okay. Now, see, these chapters are worth it and it's worth the time. So, electrostats, the first part we have already covered in the concept video and along with the PYQ. Second part we'll be covering today, the capacitance. Okay. Next, we'll be going to the current 6 to 7 weightage is there a lot. Next, moving charges and magnetism. Next, we'll be going to the AC part. Okay. And after that, we'll go for wave, ray optics, and semiconductors. Our target is at least we should cover up this much. Okay. So if you see, for if you cover up this much, how much you will be able to score? 7, 7, 14, 20, 28, 28, and 7, 35. So 35, and if you are good, we can cover up the modern physics. It's pretty small, not much is there. Dual nature, atoms, nuclei. Okay, few formulas, mostly interlinked. Okay, so that will be there. EMI will see. Okay, I'll try to provide in a very fast mode the what to say, the concept video and the PYQ, and then magnetism and matter. If you do this much, around 42 to 48 marks, it will be guaranteed if you understand. Now, very important thing, yesterday also I told, be very honest. If you are having a doubt, mark that portion. Even if we are going a bit fast in the class and you're not able to ask a lot of doubts, okay, I'll try to speak a bit more faster. If you have any difficulty, do say it now. Okay. Now, if you even if you are doing a bit faster and you're not able to ask your doubts right now, once the what is the class is done and I'm giving a break, you can give me a call separately and you can ask the doubts. Okay. So that also I'm what is allowing you to do it, but clarify your doubts. Don't take the doubts and go from here. Okay. So then there is no point in teaching and doing so much of hard work. So the most important thing is your result should be good, and it can be only good if you are working hard and sincerely. So you need to understand the concepts, how to apply. If you're not able to understand, don't mug it up directly. If something is to mug it up, I'll say mug this one up. Okay. If something is not, you need to understand because KCT sometimes can change a bit, and you didn't got that point, you didn't understand that point. The moment same concept came, but they changed a bit, and you are not able to apply. So what's the whole point in doing the class? Okay. So that case, you have to be honest and you have to say it, sir, I didn't get it, no problem. We'll what do you say, ask me in the break time. I'll give separately time also, we'll cover it up. So don't worry about that. We'll cover each and everything. Okay. Now we are almost done with the preparation of recording also. So we'll start We have the concept part. So capacitance. Very fast, I'll be recapping the whole session. Okay. So if anybody has any doubt, do say it. Okay. Anybody wants to join, do join it. Okay. Now, anyway, we have the recording now this time. Just give me 1 minute. So everybody ready? I think so now. Okay. So ready to go for live. Okay, let's start it, the session then. No. So we'll start it now. So let's start it. Okay, first what we have, screen. Okay, a bit minor lag is there. So we have a charge particle. Now the charge particle is at rest, but it is creating an electric field. Now that charge particle, if another charge particle is coming, so let's say already we have a positive charge, some other charge particle is coming. So what will happen? This electric field, the moment it interacts, it will get a force, correct? So it experiences a force. So what will happen? Displacement will be, it is thrown back, okay? Or it will be attracted depending on the charge, what we are having it. So force into displacement is what? Work done. And we know work done by charge is nothing but the potential. So the main concept or the main theory behind potential is this only. Wherever there is a work done and we divide by the unit charge, we get the potential involved. Okay. Clear everyone? Now, this is the formula, very important. Potential equal to work done by charge, or V is equal to KQ by R. Okay. Now this value, you need to remember it. Okay. Dimension, also you can go through, you can remember it also. Okay. If you know the dimension of work done, you can, what do you say, divide by the charge dimension and you can do it. Okay. Next unit we can see, work done. For work done we have joule, and for charge we have coulomb. Scalar quantity. Now, what do you say about current? If you read the chapter current, the concept video, we talked about current is not fully scalar. Okay, so it's kind of a tensor quantity, but in the exam, mostly for the KCT, you'll write the scalar only. Okay. Now this formula also very important, and for your PU part, the derivation was there. Okay, that electric field is equal to minus of potential gradient. Okay, dV by dr, or rate of change of potential with respect to length. Next, we have this one is very important. A lot of place you will see 1 electron volt. They'll give the energy in terms of not what is the kinetic and all. They'll give in terms of potential. So what is basically this? It is the energy that an electron gains when it travels, or a lot of time it is written when it is accelerated through a potential of 1 volt. Okay, 1 electron is there. You are pushing it or kicking it by 1 volt. The energy that it acquires is known as 1 electron volt. Okay, so nothing is there. 1 electron volt is exactly same thing as in terms of, if you want in joules. Okay, for the charge we know it is 1.6 into 10 power 19, and in terms of 1 electron volt it will be the same thing, but now here the unit of joule will come. Okay, clear? Because it is the charge of electron divided by 1 coulomb. So coulomb gets cancelled, and you get 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. Okay, so very important. A lot of questions from here in, what do you say, modern physics also, you'll see 2 to 3 questions are based on the similar concept. So very important. If you have any doubt in 1 volt part, how do you use it, do ask. Okay, put it in the chat section, any kind of doubt. Okay, now next after that, what we have is, for a conducting, non-conducting, what is the important? The formulas are very important. Okay, and you can understand this by the graph. Here see, it is increasing electric field. At this point, for a conducting part, nothing is there, and then after that again decreasing. So if you remember these 2 graphs, that is more than enough. Okay, now here again it is increasing, but here what happens, till here to here center it decreases. Again from here to here, the moment you go up, it increases. Why? The reason I'll tell you that also. And after that, the more forward you move, the more away you move from the charge, the more it will decrease. Now potential, a bit difference is there. Starting wise, it will increase, then remains constant, then again goes down. This is for a conducting part. Okay. Here it is just normal. It goes up till the center point, and then after that again goes down. Okay. Now let's see what are the values. Okay. So for a conductive one, electric field is kq by r square at this point, circumference. Okay. It is again same thing, kq by r square only. Inside it, we know for a conductor, always the charge lies on the outside. This line, one line is very, very important. For a conductor, the charge always lies on the outside. If I put, let's say, 10 coulomb of charge, it won't go inside. Okay, it won't go inside. The charge will all distribute on the outer surface. So this point is very important. Okay, so if somebody makes a what do you say, a Gaussian surface here and asks what is the electric flux here, directly we'll say, so no charge, electric flux is equal to what? Charge enclosed by epsilon naught. So charge enclosed is what? Inside charge is what? Zero. So the flux is what? Zero. That's it. Clear. So no what is a difficult question is there. Only you need to understand what they're asking. For a non-conductor, it goes inside also. So here, inside also will have charge. Okay. Depending on if we are making a this small surface, so whatever charge is here, we'll talk about that. If I'm making a bit bigger, so how much charge I'm enclosing in this, we'll talk about that. Okay. So that's why the graph, there is a change in that. Okay. Now these values, this is among important. This is not that important. I have given it. They haven't asked, what do you say? They haven't asked till now, but chances are there if they'll ask rare case. So you don't have to go through. These two are more important. Okay. That's it. So this part, only these two. Okay. After this, what do we have? Potential due to a dipole. We all know what is a dipole. Plus charge, minus charge separated by small distance. Very simple. Keep the definition very simple. Okay. At axis means at 0 degree. This is for any point. Okay. Let's say which is at a angle theta for any point. So this formula is most important because if I know this formula, I can derive this or I can derive the equatorial one. Okay. So this is the general point, any point which is making an angle of theta. What is the formula? V is equal to K P cos theta by R square. Okay. Now at the axis means the line joining the center. If you're keeping it is either what is making a 0 degree, or if it is out opposite side, it will make 180 degree. So the value will be this. If you put cos 0 will be how much? 1. So you'll get this value. Now coming to the equatorial point, you put theta is equal to 90 degree. Potential will get directly 0. Okay. So if you remember this formula, very important. Okay. So this formula is very important. If you have the notes, if you have written the notes, if you have not written, take a screenshot. Okay. And if you have written, well and good, mark it. And with this only, you can memorize. Okay. Okay. If what is it? They're asking for equatorial. I'll put theta is equal to pi by 2 and get the answer. Okay. Now, equipotential surface, we know surface having same potential at every point. Later, we'll see how do we use it. Okay. Electrostatic potential energy is nothing but energy due to the work done, because already a charge is there, and when you are bringing another charge, it will either repel or attract. So that time we need to work from ourselves. How much work we are doing, that is given by this formula. Now here, one more important concept which they ask in KCT is whether the energy will be positive or negative. So there you need to understand if both the charges are positive. Okay, so Q1 and Q2 both are positive. In that case, what will happen? They'll repel. If both are negative, then only the minus into minus, it will make plus. And if both are plus, so in both the cases, there is a like charge, they'll repel. So we need to, what is in order to bring them close, works needs to be done against the repulsion. So here, potential energy increases. Clear? Potential energy increases. But if we have two charge of opposite nature, so what happens? They will by themselves only they'll attract and they'll try to bring. So here, our work from our side, we have to not do that much of work. So what will happen? It will just become less. Okay, clear? Anybody till here? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Now next what we have is dipole. If you're keeping a dipole in a electric field, so what will happen? We have already read in the first chapter also. Here comes the torque. Torque is what? See, just imagine a stick is there. Okay. Now what you're doing is somebody is pulling the stick from this side, one end, and somebody else is pulling from this side. So what will happen? Instead of moving, it will start rotating. Okay, so when this kind of thing happens, we say it is a torque force or a rotating force. There's nothing complication and all. Don't a lot of students they make like torque means something entirely different, nothing like that. What you're doing is since you're not applying the force on one point, you're applying the force, equal force only, but on two different points. One is at end and one is the at the other end. So what happens instead of moving, it starts rotating. And that case, we get a torque. Okay. Now, what is the formula of torque, everybody? Torque is equal to force into perpendicular distance. Keep it in mind, torque is equal to force into perpendicular distance. Okay. You can say it with me. Just keep your mic off. Okay. You'll learn more better. So if I want to find the torque here, I'll just drop a perpendicular. So torque is equal to nothing but force into perpendicular distance. Okay. That's it. Clear? So now torque is equal to one more formula we have. Torque is equal to what? P cross E. What is my P? Dipole moment cross electric field. So if I solve it, and what is the formula of potential energy? Minus of P dot E. Clear? So these two formulas will be using a lot. Torque one and potential energy one. Now one question comes in exam. Instead of giving you what do you say a uniform electric field. Okay. In uniform electric field, what happens? The net force is zero. This one, write it down in uniform electric field. What happens? The net force is zero, but torque is there. What happens if I give a non-uniform? Okay, if I place a dipole in a non-uniform, here what will happen? Net force also won't cancel. There will be some net force, and torque also will be there. So this is a question which is asked a lot of times. So do remember it. Work done, since we have dot product, so work done is equal to P cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. This dipole, first it was at theta 1 position. Now you moved it to theta 2 position. Okay. So what will be the work done here? This is given by this formula. So you should understand. So first my dipole was kept like this, theta 1 making an angle. Now it is kept like this, making an angle of theta 2. Okay. Clear? No, 1 second just. Okay. After this, what we have is dielectric and capacitance. Till here, anybody, nobody has any doubt? Okay. Just put a fast message, okay, so that it's okay and we can just move ahead. Now, yesterday also we said if you have doubt, you can just put a D. If you have no doubt, you can put ND, okay? Simple. You don't have to write a lot of stuff. If anybody has doubt, you can put it up, okay? Now, next is dielectric and capacitance. So first thing is, if I take a conductor, so I know inside a conductor, the electrostatic field is zero because no charge is there. The interior of a conductor can have no access to no excess charge in a static condition. What do you mean by this? The moment you start supplying excess charge, what will happen? This excess charge will go on the outside of the conductor. It won't go inside. Okay. So always remember this. This won't goes inside. Always remains on the outside only. Okay. Next, at every point, any neutral conductor contains an equal amount of positive charge and negative charge. We all know that. Even in an infinitely small element of surface area or volume, from Gauss law, we can say that, okay, this is the just definition, okay, that whatever charge you give it, even sometimes you give a small charge or a very big charge, in both the case scenario, the excess charge will always be on the outer surface. And for a conductor, the amount of charge per unit volume will be always same. Means if in 1 meter cube, this side, if I see the amount of charge, what will be, if I see this side also, same it will be. It won't be like this side is having more charge or this side is having more charge. Okay. Now after this, what we have, so same thing that they have written. Now electric potential is also constant throughout the whole volume. At the surface of the charge conductor, the electric field is potential to perpendicular to the surface. So electric field will be what? Always radially outward. So it will be always, if I see for this surface, it is perpendicular. If I see for this surface, it will be the tangent perpendicular. Okay. Now, after this, what we have for capacitor, what is the use of a capacitor? It stores charge. It is a device that is stored charge in form of what? Electric field. Now, when you will read about inductor, it also does the storing of charge, but in form of magnetic field. Okay. Here it does in the form of electric field. Now, what is capacitance? The ability to store that electric charge. Capacitor is a device that does that, stores charge in form of electric field. Now, the ability or the process by which it is doing, that is known as capacitance. Now for a spherical conductor, voltage we already know, kq by r. The capacitance is equal to what? Charge by voltage. So put the value q by kq by r. So what you will get? We'll get 4 pi epsilon naught into r. Now C is equal to capacitance equal to 4 pi epsilon naught into r for a spherical conductor. Okay. This formula is important. This formula you can mark it. Now for a spherical conductor but having two shells, one inside, one outside, and in between you have put up a dielectric. In that case, what will happen? Directly. So formula you can go through. C is equal to capacitance is equal to charge by net voltage. So voltage due to A minus voltage due to B. That's it. So put the formula, you'll get this. Okay. Next, we have parallel plate capacitor. This is more important. Okay. Now here, more questions are asked with dielectric and without dielectric. What will be the change? So the moment we have no dielectric, so the formula is epsilon naught A by D, where A is the area of the plate and D is the distance between the plates. The moment you put a dielectric with what is a dielectric constant K, it becomes K times. The capacitance increases by K times. So keep it very simple, and people who understand more Kannada better, you write in your own language also, so that you can remember what is a bit more properly. Okay. Now partially filled. Now what happened is earlier we were filling up fully. Now instead of filling up fully, we are just putting up part of it. So in that case, we'll see how much is the thickness of the slab. Okay. So in that case, what will be the formula? A epsilon naught. D is the total thickness minus T, thickness of the slab which you have inserted, plus T by K. Okay. For a metal, sometimes they ask the K value is infinite. Okay. For a metal, the electric constant K value is infinite. So what will be the formula? Directly, this part T by K becomes 0 because 1 by infinity we already know it's 0. So it will be A epsilon naught by D minus T. Clear, everybody? So this is like just we are going brief on the formula part. Okay. Next, if you have inserted more than one, K1, K2, and K3, directly you can go with this formula. A epsilon naught T1 by K1 plus T2 by K2 plus T3 by K3. Now this part is very important. You get directly a one question that two small drops are there or more, and what happened? They're merging and forming a bigger charge drop. So here n number of drops you have taken, total charges n into q. For one it is q. So for n number of what is it drops, it will be nq. Total capacitance will become what? N power 1 by 3 into C. Potential also, it is square of that, so n power 2 into C. Okay. Here again, same thing. We can find surface charge density. We can find total potential also. This part is important. Next, energy stored in the capacitor. Directly, we know the formula. We have to use only the formula, not much they have asked. Half CV square or half QV or Q square by 2C. All three formulas are important. Okay. Now after that, charging a capacitor and then connecting to an uncharged one. So what you have done, you have taken a capacitor and then you have charged it with another capacitor, okay? Or you have charged with a potential, let's say. So this capacitor becomes charged. After that, with this capacitor, you are attaching another capacitor. This is a very common question in KCT, okay? So what happens is, the moment this capacitor becomes charged and you are bringing an uncharged capacitor, the charges redistributes. Okay, if it has 6 farad of charge and this is uncharged, so now it will be 3. Okay, it distributes in such a way so that both of them have the same what is the capacitance. So we can find the common potential by total charge by total capacitance. So this formula is also important. Next, energy lost in transfer, very rarely they ask, but you can go through this formula. Okay, now here you need to understand, when you connect capacitor in series, it behaves as if you are connected the resistors in parallel. If you remember the resistors formula, in parallel it was this. So when I connect a capacitor in series, my net capacitance decreases. My net capacitance decreases. Okay. Next, if I connect them in parallel, it increases. Clear? So we need to understand this much. Next, parallel plate capacitor with a dielectric. We have already seen. What do you say? Here I have given the initial electric field, initial charge. After dielectric, what happens? I've given that also. If the battery remains connected, then potential will remain same. If you remove the battery, charges will be constant. So capacitance, the moment you put a dielectric, it will be K times. Charge, since it matters with capacitance, it also becomes K times. Electric field, it matters with potential. So there is no change in potential, okay, when you're putting a dielectric. So electric field remains same. So this is like a three question in one concept. The moment you're putting a dielectric with capacitance K, what happens to the capacitance? It becomes K times. What happens to the new charge? It becomes K times. What happens to the new electric field? It remains same. Clear, everybody? Energy stored, since also it depends on the capacitor, it becomes K times, okay? Now again, you disconnect it from the battery, okay? So in that case, what happens? Voltage decreases because the voltage from the higher one will start going. Electric field depends on the voltage, so this also has to decrease. Energy shared will be directly, you can use the formula and you can do it. So now I'll be providing you the PDF. Go through this. 10 minutes I'll be giving you. Go through all the questions. Whatever you are able to solve in a fast manner, solve it, okay? And then we'll start the discussion. Anybody, any doubt on this? Till now, anybody has any doubts? You can put it in the chat section. I just went through the overbrief, okay, the formulas and all. We'll see the questions from 2015 to 2020. Okay, nothing is difficult in there. Okay. I'll be here in the, what do you say, meet only. Okay, I'll be giving you 10 minutes time. So 10 minutes you have. Start solving. I'll send the PDFs. Okay. I've sent the file. Do check it fast in the WhatsApp also and Telegram also both. It's a 2019 first, and I'm sending 2020 also. So for these two, we are targeting 2019, 2020. If we're doing very fast, we'll cover up, what do you say, 2014 to 2018 also. Put it in the chat section whether you received or not. It is in the WhatsApp group or the Telegram, both we have put up. Yes, no, put it on the chat section. You are all ready. We'll start slowly because we don't have that much of time. Max 2 to 3 minutes I'm giving. Okay. 2 minutes max. 2 minutes max. Be ready. We'll start in 2 minutes. So whoever wants to join, do join fast. Okay. So start with the 2019, all the questions go through 2019, 2020 first we are doing. If you have any doubts after that, we'll see how much time we are taking. Okay, and if we have more time, so we can again come back to and solve from 2014 to 2018, no problem. Or you can do it separately also. We'll have a session where we'll discuss the rest questions. So we'll try to finish up whatever the chapters we have. Okay. So the first question that we have is two metal plates, they have given it to us. Okay. And what they have given? They're separated by 2 centimeters. The potential of the plates is this and this. The electric field between the two plates. Okay. What are the options? When will you upload it in the YouTube here? Okay. YouTube, see, again, it will, see, we are recording with the OBS part. The files will get, again, if it is a 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour recording, it takes a lot of time to render. So try, if you're not doing anything, try to be in the, what is it, class only. Okay. And if you have other options to like screen record or anything, other options, you can do that also. Okay. But it will be better if you do in the class and you can ask directly questions from here and you can finish the chapters here and what is it here all only. Okay. So you don't have to separately sit for these chapters. I'll be taking all the chapters which I told from capacitance, current, moving charges. Then we'll go for AC. We'll go for ray, wave, and dual nature, atom, nuclear, and semiconductors. So these chapters will complete around 45 marks. If you're able to revise 45 marks here only, you don't have to do anything for the physics part separately. So the rest, whatever chapters, I think so you can take care of that. So here, coming to this question, everybody. So the question they have given very simple. So what will be the answer? We need to find electric field. The moment we listen about electric field, your voice is getting cut because of network issues. Okay, anybody else is having a problem with the audio? Okay, I'm anyway recording, but I don't know, like I'll try to what is a record and cut in between. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, Darshan sir is having recording issues. I'll try to put up right everything, whatever I'm saying. Okay. So two metal plates separated by a small distance, 2 centimeter. Okay. And then what we have is the potential of one of the plate is this, the other plate is this, then the electric field between them. So electric field is equal to what? Directly we remember one formula, sir. Electric field is equal to minus dV by dr. Just now you gave this formula, correct? Okay. Oh, issue from your side. Okay, Darshan sir. We'll try our best, sir. So yesterday, after doing that much of class, we thought of like we got up early, we thought of uploading it, but the software issues were a lot. We were not able to upload. Okay, I felt really bad. Okay, but nothing is was in our hand to do. Like all were paid subscriptions. Apart from that, you can't record it anywhere. Even the Streamlabs were lagging. Prism was lagging. So we didn't have any other option to record it like anyway. So we can't do anything in that. Plus, we don't have 100,000 subscribers, so we can go live properly from the YouTube part. Okay, in the iPad or something. So separately, we need to have what you say an OBS properly on the desktop, and then from there, screen sharing with the iPad is not taking properly. So again, syncing issues, internet and all. We had a lot of issues, but we thought whatever happens, let's start the class. Okay, so that's why I'm planning to take 1 hour recap session will in which I'll complete up everything. Okay. Whatever I taught yesterday, I'll complete. So try to be in class. In case audio will try to put up, okay, we'll try to write more and more. So if you see the video, you'll be able to understand. So basically, what we remember is, do we have a subtitle feature so that whatever I'm saying, it will be like, so captions. So will that caption help you? What is your Darshan, sir? In case we are getting captions, okay, do tell it, okay, do check, okay, if the captions is helping you or not. Now coming to this question, they have given electric field is equal to minus dV by dr. What is my net dV? Yeah, it's working. Okay, okay, then at least something we can do. So okay. Excuse me. So directly we can add, okay, voltage divided by dr is the length between the plates. So this we need it in meter. Okay, we'll convert that. So what you'll get 40 by 2 into 10 power 2. Correct. So what is that value? Correct. 2000 V per meter. Okay. Now, very simple question you could have done in like, what do you say, 5 to 10 seconds max. Okay. So we just had to find the net voltage divided by the distance between them. That's it. Now, coming to the next question, the equivalent capacitance between A and B. In this, the diagram doesn't look that proper, but okay. We have to find the equivalent capacitance between A and B. So how will we do? Think a bit and then we'll start this question. 1 minute I'm giving time and then we'll start the solution of this. So here basically you need to understand which one is in series, which one is in parallel. The moment you understand that, you'll be able to solve it pretty easily. Now, just imagine I'm making this circuit big. Okay, everybody is able to focus here. Yeah. Okay. Just imagine, forget about all other. What about these two? What about these two? They look like in series, correct? End to end connected. So if I make them into one, and we know the moment in series, what happens? It acts like parallel. So 1 by 100 plus 1 by 100. So the net will be what? 2 by 100. So that is equal to what? 1 by 50. So it will act like a 50 picofarad capacitor. Correct. So the moment you're able to see that, it becomes very easy. So basically, if you see from B, we have from B we have a C4. One part of B is going like this and connecting to C4, and one part, okay, it is getting connected with, let's say from here, one part of this 100. So let's say this 100 one part, okay, and then one more part, okay, this part, it is getting connected with 100. One more part, it is getting connected here. Just check the diagram if you're able to understand. I'll show it. If I simplify, I'll get like this something. This will be the C1 50. This will be in between these two 50, and this will be the C4 50. This is C4. This is C1 and C2 and C3. Let's write C2 3, and this is C1. Okay. So everybody, they are able to understand the moment we break these two into one, it becomes a very simple diagram. These two in parallel. Okay. And then whatever you get, these two in parallel, and whatever you get, make a series with C4. Okay. So these two in parallel, what will happen? 50, 50 parallel, what will happen? Come on fast. What will be the options? We got one option from here. What about others? What will be the option? So basically we got this two. It will be adding up to 100 and then 2 in series. So 1 by 50 plus 1 by 100. So what will happen? Directly we know, sir, 100 into 50 by 100 plus 50, 150. Correct. So 100 by 3 picofarad. Correct. Okay, options we didn't write properly. 100 by 3 picofarad. Anybody doubt on this? Lavanya ma'am. Okay, option is D or doubt is there D? Option D. Okay. Option. Okay, correct. Anybody else having any doubt? What we have done, again, I'm recapping it in a very short while. See, I had this kind of connection, double two capacitors here and one capacitor here. Okay, connected like this circuit. Okay. So what I've done here is, this is A and B. These two were in series. Okay. So what I did, I removed them and made it into one. Okay. I solved it. I got one. Correct. This 50. Now these two is in parallel. So I solved that too. So if it is in parallel directly, you can remove them. This connection. And just you can put a 100 up here. Okay. Now this 100 and this is 50. They're in series. Solve it. That's it. So everybody got, put a S that you got it in the chat section if you got, and we'll move on to the next question. Okay, Lavanya ma'am, Fazin sir, Sachin sir, got it. Okay, good. Okay, very good. What about others? Meghna ma'am? Yes, no, any difficulty? Do ask it. Okay. Okay. Now coming to the next question. A capacitor of capacitance C charged by an amount Q is connected in parallel with an uncharged capacitor of 2C. So here two things is there. First, you're charging a capacitor of C by some amount Q. That is first concept. Then that one you're taking it and connecting it to an uncharged one. And from there, again, you're charging it. Now they're asking what is the final thing happening. Clear? So very simple question. You can solve it very faster also. So what will be the answer? Let's see. See, you can understand, you can solve this whole question without doing anything. See, just important is you need to see the options. See, you have a charge Q, okay, and you are dividing it into what, basically three capacitors. Here we have two. Just imagine you are dividing it into one capacitor of C and the other capacitor of 2C. So total capacitance, if you see, is 3C. So how will the charge divide? In Q by 3, correct. So first we'll get the Q by 3 part and the other will get 2Q by 3 part. Correct. So only one option where we have, that's it. Clear? We don't have to do a lot. If you know what happens in case of parallel connection, what happens? Charge distributes, correct. And it distributes in such a way so that it sees the capacitance and then distributes, okay. So we know Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2. So this C1 total capacitance is what? 3C. So this whole charge will be divided into three sets: Q by 3, Q by 3, and Q by 3. Very simple. Now, since this one is having just one capacitance, so I'll give this one, and the other capacitor is having two capacitance. Okay, so I'll give these two charges to that. That's it. If I want to solve it logically, directly within 3 seconds, I can write the answer. KCT gives me a lot of options. Okay, it's not very difficult. So this concept you are able to understand the moment. See, you need to understand some keywords parallelly connected. Okay, and no charge it had previously. So this total charge is only divided into. Just imagine that three capacitors of. Just you can imagine like this. You have taken a charge Q and you are dividing into three capacitors of CCC. Okay, this is also C. This is also C. This is also C. So if it was equal, you would have written Q by 3, Q by 3, Q by 3. Now what you thought, sir? I'll merge these two. What I'll do? I'll merge these two and make it into one. So it will be what? 2C into 2Q by 3. That's it. Clear? So this is the concept. You can do it without solving. If you want to see with the solving part also, will show. Okay. Everybody got this point, the way we approach the question? Without solving 3 seconds, this only comes in the shortcuts and short tricks. Okay. 3 seconds you can solve it. It's just redistribution of charge. Take the charge, divide it into three equal capacitors, it will be what? Q by 3, Q by 3, Q by 3. Now you plan to merge the any two. So it will be 2Q by 3. So we only have one distribution that is equal to Q by 3 and 2Q by 3. That's it. Clear? Anybody doubt in this? Anybody not able to think like this or having a difficulty in doubt, do say it. Don't hesitate. If you have a doubt, do say it, because you're doing a class and it's like 2 days before, so you don't have extra time again to understand. So if you have doubt, put a D and ask it. Okay, I'll explain. So everyone got, I'm just getting answers from few people. Everyone understood the concept? Yes, no? Okay. So we can move on to the other question. Now if somebody wants to do like normal method, I'll show this also. Let's see. Normally what way they can approach, they can make a like this. Charge, okay, Q1, and this one is V1. Charge Q2, V2, and this is like total V. So total potential is equal to what? Total charge by total capacitance, Q1 by Q2 by C1 plus C2. Total charge is Q, and this is 3C total capacitance. So the charge on 1 is equal to what? C1 into V. So that is equal to C into Q by 3C. So you can get like this also, Q by 3. If somebody wants to solve like this method also, you can do. First find the potential, and then charge on first is equal to what? C1 into V. That's it. Clear? Because here potential remains constant. What you say? Our total potential is same, so you can just use this concept also. You can solve this way also. Okay. Now, can I move on to the next question, or anybody has any doubt? No doubt from anybody. Nobody said anything, so we'll move on to the next question. Okay. If you have doubt, do say it. Don't hesitate. Okay. Now, coming to the next question, they have given a very simple question. Particle of mass m charge q is placed at rest in uniform electric field and then released. The kinetic energy attained by the particle after moving a distance y. A very simple question, but you'll see this question a lot of time repeated. A lot of time. So you need to apply the basic concepts. Okay. If you remember the basic concepts, you'll be able to solve it. So what is given? Particle is there, mass m. Now, can anybody solve this question with what do you say? Dimensional analysis? See, the dimension of distance y is L length. Electric field, what is the dimension of electric field? Force by charge. Correct. So can you find it down? You can find that. And Q is charge. Okay. So basically, if you see Q, E, Y, if I see the dimension of this one, Q is charge, C, this is force by charge. So charge went off. Now force into length is, we know, that is work done, that is energy. Force into displacement is work done, energy. Now if I do QE is my force into Y square. Sir, not possible, sir. Force into length square is never work done. Correct. So directly we can cancel. What about this? Sir, here if I do q square E into y, q square is charge square, force by charge. So one charge got cancelled. Now we have force, we have length, we have one charge, not a unit of work done. Now again, Q is charge, electric field is what? Electric field square. So force square by charge square into length. Again, sir, not a work done length. So this we solve directly by dimension. Forget about physics. If you know dimension analysis and if you know how to use it, we can solve a lot of questions. That's why I said the first chapter, dimension analysis, is very, very, very important. Now, everybody understood or not? Was it a layman concept? Nothing we did of physics. What we did, Q is like a coulomb, so charge. Let's say we don't know the unit of charge. Keep it like that. We know electric field. Electric field is equal to what? F by Q. You could have used that also. If somebody is like having a difficulty by writing a coulomb charge, you can use F by Q. Q into E, you can write F by Q into Y. So then force into displacement. So this is work done, and work done is also same thing as energy. Correct. Rest all other case you won't get it. Clear? Anybody doubt? Anybody has a doubt here? See, if you get 6 to 7 questions, okay, like this, and you can solve in KCT if you properly, if you're in a confident state, around 6 to 7 questions, you can just nail it by using dimension analysis. Just by checking the dimensions properly, you can put 6 to 7 questions in like 30 seconds, 50 seconds, done. So this 6 to 7 questions is like your solid. You should look after that also, okay? Coming to the next question. Now 48, the figure shows the electric potential as a function of a distance through 4 regions on x-axis. Which of the following is true for the magnitude of the electric field in these regions? Okay, so think about it and we'll have a discussion. I'll give 2 minutes on this. This is a good question, okay? Now let's see what will be the answer to this question. Now the figure gives the electric potential as a function of distance. So the bell should ring. We know one formula only. E is equal to what? dV by dr. Okay. So from here we should get something. Means E and dV by dr. Yesterday only I told you dV by dr, the derivative of potential with respect to r is nothing but the slope. So basically the slope of this graph, potential by distance graph gives me the electric field. So it's basically the graph is giving me the electric field. Clear? So if you see the potential at A here, everybody, if you see the potential, this one and this one, is it same, yes or no? Because both the slope is 0. The potential for both of it, for EA and EC, is same. Correct? So do we have any option EA is equal to EC? Now, do you think we need to solve anything else? Or was it very difficult physics question, sir? It took a lot of time. Everybody was using a rocket science or something. What is there in this question? Tell me. Put in the chat section, was it very super difficult, something super complex? We're doing rocket science, designing an engine, something like that. Yes, no, if you're able to understand, be happy, smile, and do say something, okay? So it helps me that, yeah, you're able to get it, okay. So was it pretty simple? Nothing we had, the moment we understood, okay, one thing we needed to know that electric field is equal to dV by dr. Whenever we get d of anything by dr, it means what? We are basically talking about the slope of that graph. Like if I have V and X, basically we are talking about slope of this Vx graph. So the moment we know this and the slope is given by what? Electric field. Done. Why I need to worry about all that? Correct. Clear, everybody? Now, and see, KCT gives you options. If they would have given like option EA is equal to EC, for 2 or 3 and all, for J and all, you'll get like all options will be like EA is equal to EC, and then you have to check for others. KCT doesn't do all that. So you are chill in that, okay? Next, see the next question. A system of two charges separated by a certain distance apart stores potential electric potential energy. If the distance between them is increased, the potential energy of the system will remain same, will increase, decrease, what will happen? A very, very, very simple question. Okay. You need to use the formulas. What are the formulas we use here? See, I gave a theory for this also. So if you come to the theory part, okay, everybody first try it. I'm showing you the theory part here. See, this was the formula. Okay. Potential energy is equal to K Q1 Q2 by RAB. Correct. Now here we have to think about the charge. If the charges are same, both are positive or both are negative. That is one scenario. If both are of different, one positive, one negative. Okay. So in that case, what will happen? The potential energy will be negative. So in negative, if you decrease the value, if I have a negative quantity, let's say -5, if I'm decreasing -4, -3, -2, what happens? This whole value increases. If I'm increasing the radius, this decreases, then this whole value increases. Here in this case, it is positive. Let's say potential energy is equal to 5. Now, if I'm decreasing the distance, what will happen? 4, 3, 2. So here the value decreases. So what will happen? The option will be what? The first option. It may increase or decrease depending on the nature of the charge. It may increase or decrease depending on the nature of the charge. Here we will have two cases. Case 1, where U is equal to K Q1 Q2 by R. So in this case, if Q1 and Q2, if I multiply these two and I get a positive quantity, means either both are positive or both are negative. In that case, what will happen? The moment my U is positive, if I increase this value of R, this whole thing becomes down. Correct. Let's take a random value. See, sometimes we are very difficult. It becomes very difficult to understand like this. Let's take a random value. Let's take, sir, let's the U value, potential energy be 10. Now I increase the radius. I made it by 2. So my potential energy reduced. Yes or no? Yes, sir, definitely. Sir, I increased more. 10 it was there. I increased it to 5. The radius I increased. Now my potential energy became 2. So it got more decreased. Now take the case 2. In case 2, we have U is equal to K Q1 Q2 by R. And here Q1 and Q2 is less than 0, a negative value. So let's say -10 here. So -10 by 2, sir, very good, -5. So -10 by 5, sir, -2. So which value is bigger? This became bigger. No, I increase the distance. The effect is same. I increase the distance, but what happens? Here the potential energy increased in negative case. Here it decreased in the positive case. So it may increase or decrease. That's it. Everybody got it? Yes, no, any doubt? Very good. What about others? Do write it. Yes, no. Okay. Definitely no also will be allowed. Don't worry. I'll again go in depth and I'll again explain. If anybody has any difficulty, okay. Okay, no doubt from the chat section from the people. Okay. Now let's start with the 2020. This all is done with the what is it 2019. Let's start with 2020. Just exclude the outside noise. A bit outside noise will be there here and there. Okay. One thing is that in the night class, we don't have the extra outside noise. Okay. The next question is there. Right. A very good question. The difference between equivalent capacitance of two identical capacitors connected in parallel so that the series is 6 microfarad. If you use your brain, you can solve it without solving. Think a bit, you'll get the answer. So the concept here you have to use is, if you connect something in series, what the net capacitance increases or decreases. That's it. So basically what they're doing is, they're first connecting two capacitor in parallel. So connect them in parallel. P, you have connected two capacitor in parallel. And connect them in series. You connected them in series. Okay, two capacitors. Then you have connected them, two of them in parallel. Okay. Now what will happen? The subtraction of these two. Difference means what? Subtraction. So P minus S, you are getting 6. Okay. And the subtraction of this is 6. So what you can do, you can check with individual values only. See, if I take 2 microfarad, forget about solving. If I take 2, if I connect them in series, what I'll get 1. And if I connect them in parallel, 2 plus 2 is what? 4. So 4 minus 1, it will be always what? This and this we're subtracting. So 4 minus 1 is what? 3. It can't be ever be 6, correct? So this option is gone. What about 6? Very good, so 6 is a big value. So 6 and 6, if I add it up, I'll get 12. And 6 and 6, if I subtract, means I'll make half if I connect in series, 1 by 6, 1 by 6. So I'll get 3. So 12 minus 3, sir, 9, sir. Simple time. This is also not possible. Now, next is 3 again. If I add 3 plus 3, maximum is 6. And if I subtract anything with here, 1.5 also, half of that, it will be 4.5. So not possible. So only option is 4. See, we did option checking, that's it. Correct. What we did? The question looked very difficult, correct? But it had nothing. See, you need to decode the question. You need to read each line and you need to decode it. Otherwise, physics questions are very simple. So here, the moment if you read the whole thing, at one line, you will be complicated, it will get complicated. What do? What you break it? What do you think? Oh, 2 identical capacitors, sir. Both are C and C. Good. Next, what they've done, they've connected them in parallel. Okay, connect them in parallel. So one connection like this. I connected them in parallel, and once I've connected them in series. Okay, these two I've done. Once I've done these two, what I've got, I got one in parallel, that is 1 by C plus 1 by C. Sorry, C plus C. And series, what is I can write directly 2 by C. So I got 2C by 2 by C. I can do by this also, normal method. If I add these two, I'll get 2C. So 2C minus 2 by C should be equal to 6. I can solve this also. If you want to solve a quadratic equation, you can do by this also. Or if you want just to put the values and check it, you can do by that also. Clear? And this subtraction between these two should be equal to 6. That is the question. Clear, everybody? Yes, no, put it in the chat section. Yes, no. Okay. Now coming to the next question. A very good question. You just need to again understand same thing. Here we'll be using the concept of equipotential surface. Okay. If you understand this, you'll be able to solve it in like seconds. 1 minute I've given to all. Okay. See, one statement which I've given in the first chapter, electrostatic potential, and one concept I have given, that what is in case of this one, potential gradient. If you remember one line I've given, which is very important line, we'll be using that line here. If you're able to remember that, see, that's why we say concept, you need to revise thrice, 4 times, as many times as you can revise, then only you'll be able to apply more properly. You all tried? I'll show the concept. Yeah, this one. This page contains the answer for that. If you just figure it out where it is, you'll be able to understand. See, one line which I've marked, I'm again marking it here, this one. It's very, very, very important. Let's see if anybody is able to figure out the answer by themselves. Just this point only. You have to explain by this. If you're able to understand this in simple terms, directly you can say the answer. Let's try to remember in a different way. What is it trying to say is, Imagine like this. My friend is calling me to walk to a path where we'll just go and chill out and just waste time. So if I keep walking in that path, if I go more and more towards that path, what will happen? I'll waste in my exam and I'll do bad in the exam. So this you can keep it as, if I have a potential and if I have electric field like this, if I keep walking in the direction of electric field, okay, my potential will decrease. If I keep walking in the direction of electric field, what will happen? My potential will decrease. So this one has the least potential. Everybody got this concept? It says that the direction of E is in the direction in which V decreases. Means this E direction, if it is increasing like this, it is the direction of E is giving me the direction in which V will decrease. Okay. If we come to this question, just you need to figure from B to C. If I'm going from this, the potential at C has to be less than the potential at B. Or is it the potential at B is less than potential at C? Which one? Come on fast, let's see how many got it. See, I told you, if I'm keep walking in that friend's path, okay, where he called, I'll end up in doing a bad result. So what will happen? You'll just remember like that. So this point has less. So my V of C will be less. Okay. So the answer will be what? V and VB is same, equipotential. But VB has to be greater than VC. That's it. Clear? So everybody got this concept? You won't forget? Yes, no. Now regarding the question paper, a lot of students they have asked in the group, is the question paper will be easy or difficult? Mostly they're expecting a moderate paper because you got a lot of time, so it will be a moderate, not too easy or too hard. But anyway, you'll get 20 to 30 marks, very simple. And the concept, the way which you're doing, if you solve each and every of them, every concept video which I have given, if you go it through thoroughly, you don't need any other book to touch it to get out from that chapter. Okay, so we went through all the previous year's question paper, we went through all the suggestions, we went through all the YouTube videos, whatever was available, we went through and we made the content. Okay, so everybody got this answer? Can we go for the next? Next question, what we have? A hot filament liberates an electron with zero initial velocity. The anode potential is 1200 volt. The speed of the electron when it strikes the anode is how much? What are you going to do in this? So here one thing is missing, I think so, mass of the electron we should know. So I think so everybody knows the mass of electron, correct? Everybody knows the mass of electron, 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kg, because we'll be using this. Now this concept is similar to that what? Electron volt. Okay. So here the kinetic energy of the electron is equal to what? It is given by, it is accelerated by what? A potential. That is equal to what? Charge into QV or EV, same thing for the electron. So we can get V square, kinetic energy is equal to what? Half mv square. That is equal to what? QV. So V square is equal to what? 2 into charge 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 of the electron into potential 1200 volt divided by mass 9.1 into 10 power minus 31. Correct. Now, what is the best option here is, first you solve out the powers. Okay. You see the powers are almost in the similar range, 10, 5, 10 power 5, 10 power 6, 10 power 7, 10 power 8. Okay. So if you solve out the powers, you'll have a bit more clarity. So remove this, remove this. Okay, done. So 2 into 16 by 91 or 9.1 means 9, only you take it. And then here, 1, what is it? 12, you keep it into how much power we have? 10 power 19. I'm keeping it here, 10 power 19 minus plus 31 plus for this 2 here. Okay. So how much we are getting? 33 minus 19. Everybody, what is the answer? 33 minus 19. I think so. What, 14? Correct. So 10 power 14. Now that is v square. So if I bring it in terms of v, what I'll get? If I do the square root, what I'll get? Forget about this part. If I do v square is equal to 10 power 14. Okay, root of, if I do that, so v is equal to what? 10 power 7. So what do you think what the answer should be? So not always you need to solve the whole thing. Okay. So directly we can put this as an answer. Okay. So don't go into solving this all in. You'll get it. No problem. We can reduce even whatever small we can do a reduction. That is important. Now again understand whenever they say that it got accelerated or whenever a potential is involved. So understand the energy it will gain, and energy here since it is moving, so it is in the form of kinetic energy, and that is equal to what? Charge into potential. Clear? If it was same thing, we could have written EV also. E is the charge of the electron into potential V. That's it. So the energy or the work done will both all be equal to, that is the potential into the velocity. Charge into the velocity. That's it. So once you know this much of concept, a lot of questions will be based on this. You'll be able to solve it. Anybody, everybody, anything doubt in this? Got it? Didn't get? Only thing you needed to remember here is whenever you accelerate something with a potential, it gets a kinetic energy that is equal to QV or EV, whatever the charge into the potential. Charge multiplied with the potential. Clear? Yes, no, anybody? Okay. Let's see the next question what we have here. Now the next question is of potentiometer. Potentiometer questions are rather very simple. Now how will we do this potentiometer concept? Directly we can use the formula of potentiometer. Try everybody, I'm giving 1 minute. 1 second just. Now let's see it, this question. So we have the potentiometer wire has a length of 5 meter. Okay. And then a battery of EMF 10 volt and negligible internal resistance is connected between its ends. A secondary cell connected to the circuit gives balancing length at 200 centimeter, the EMF of the secondary cell. How will we find it out? See, EMF of the secondary cell, we can find it out. Formula is very simple. EMF is equal to potential gradient into the balancing length. So balancing length is 200 centimeter means 2 meter into 2. And what is my potential gradient? Potential gradient means what? Potential by length. So 10 by 5. So what I'll get? 4. That's it. Clear? Now after this, we'll give it a break for food and all, half an hour once the chapter is done. Okay. Be done with the food and everything. And then we'll start with current, then moving charges and magnetism. Okay. 2 chapters we'll try to wrap up in one. So do it properly. Okay. Everybody got this one? Directly EMF of the secondary cell, directly we have the formula is equal to potential gradient into balancing length. So potential gradient is nothing but how much potential we have, 10 volt by the length is what, 5 meter divided, and then multiply with the balancing length. What is that? 200 centimeter. So always we take the length in terms of meter. So 200 centimeter is what? 2 meter. So done. Clear everyone? So we are done with this now. We'll take a break. Okay. 3 will start. Okay. Sharp 3 be here. We'll start the class sharp 3. Okay. So take a break of 30 minutes. Everybody okay? Sharp 3 will start the class. with a new chapter. Till here, if you have time, you have already done with your lunch. You can just go ahead and revise this chapter. If you have any doubt, in between, you can call and ask. Okay.